You ever feel like you're trying your best, pushing, grinding, sacrificing, and it's still not enough? You scroll through social media, see everyone else making it, while you're stuck in the same place. The worst part? A voice in your head starts whispering, maybe it's just not meant for you. That's the lie. Because most people don't fail because they're not talented, or smart, or capable. They fail because they quit too soon. This video is about the 7 real reasons people give up on their dreams, not years in, but just inches away from the breakthrough. And trust me, some of these reasons will hit hard, because they're real, raw, and painfully common. Before we continue, do not forget to like, subscribe, share, and turn on the notification bell. Maybe you felt like quitting, maybe you already have. But before you walk away from what you were meant to do, you need to hear this, because once you understand what's really holding you back, you'll realize you're closer than you think. You know what kills more dreams than failure? Unrealistic expectations. We live in a world where everything is fast. Fast food, fast internet, fast results. So we start thinking our dreams should move just as fast. But here's the truth. Real dreams don't come with same-day delivery. Most people quit not because their dream wasn't good enough, but because it didn't happen fast enough. They try for 6 months and expect 6 figures. They drop a few videos and expect to go viral. They launch a business, and when the world doesn't instantly respond, they start questioning themselves. Am I even meant for this? But let's be honest. How long are you really willing to wait for the thing you say you want more than anything? Because here's what they don't tell you. Every overnight success you see took years to build. Steve Harvey lived in his car for 3 years. J.K. Rowling was rejected by 12 different publishers. Kevin Hart bombed on stage for years before Hollywood even cared. You don't get to skip the hard part. And the hardest part? Staying committed when nothing is happening. Because progress doesn't always look like progress. Sometimes it looks like silence. Like being ignored. Like working in the dark while the world pretends you don't exist. But guess what? That's the part where most people give up. And it's exactly where you need to keep going. If you're only willing to chase your dream when it's easy, fast, or popular, you were never chasing a dream. You were chasing a fantasy. You've got to fall in love with the process, not just the results. You've got to be okay with being unseen until you're undeniable. So ask yourself this. If you knew it would take 10 years, would you still want it? Because if the answer is yes, then act like it. Grind like it. Commit like it. Stop treating your dream like a lottery ticket. This isn't luck, it's work. And the people who win, they're not the ones who got there fastest. They're the ones who refuse to stop moving. Let's talk about fear. Not the kind that keeps you up at night, but the kind that keeps you stuck. The fear of failure is one of the biggest dream killers in the world. And the worst part? Most people don't even realize it's fear. It shows up sounding reasonable. I just want to be smart about this. I don't want to waste time. I need to be 100% ready first. But if we're being real, what you're really saying is, I'm scared to fail. I'm scared of being judged. I'm scared to try and still not be good enough. And that fear, it's what paralyzes people, keeps them planning, researching, talking, but never doing. Because here's what fear convinces you. If you never try, you'll never fail. If you don't risk anything, you won't lose anything. But that's a lie. Because the truth is, if you don't try, you've already failed. Every successful person you admire, they've all been through it. Michael Jordan got cut from his high school team. Walt Disney was told he lacked creativity. Elon Musk failed publicly, over and over, with rockets, with companies, even with tweets. What separates them isn't luck, it's courage. And courage isn't about feeling confident, it's about taking action even when you don't. It's about saying, I might fail, but I'm going to do it anyway. And failure, it's not your enemy, it's your teacher. You fail, you learn, you adapt, you grow. You do that enough times, and eventually, you win. But if you keep letting fear drive the car, you'll spend your whole life circling the parking lot, never going anywhere. So here's the challenge. Start before you're ready. Move before you feel brave. Act even if your voice shakes. Because nothing is more expensive than the dream you never chased. Let's be honest, Chasing your dream can feel incredibly lonely. You might be surrounded by people, but still feel completely isolated in what you're trying to build. Your friends might not get it. Your family might think you're wasting your time. Your partner might say they support you, but deep down, they don't really believe in it. And that cuts deep. Because when the people closest to you don't see the vision, it's easy to start doubting the vision yourself. Support isn't just about encouragement, it's about validation. It's about having someone say, "I see what you're trying to do, and I believe in you." When that's missing, even the strongest person starts to waver. Here's the truth. Many people don't quit because of failure. They quit because they got tired of walking the road alone. They got tired of explaining themselves, of trying to convince others why their dream mattered, of pretending like the silence didn't bother them. But you have to remember something. They weren't given your vision. You were. And it's not their job to believe in it. It's yours. That doesn't mean you don't need people. You do. But don't confuse temporary isolation with permanent rejection. Sometimes, when you're doing something different, the world just needs time to catch up. And if support isn't showing up for you right now, go build it. Find your tribe, the creators, the builders, the dreamers like you. They're out there, online, in communities, in comments, in forums, waiting to connect with someone who gets it. Sometimes you have to create the support you're missing, but whether or not you have it right now, don't let the silence make you shrink. Don't let the lack of applause make you walk off the stage. Because the truth is, most people don't believe in your dream until they see it working. So keep building. Even if no one's clapping yet, the right people will catch up. People don't just quit because things get hard. They quit because they're exhausted. And burnout? It's one of the quietest, most destructive dream killers out there. We glorify hustle culture. No sleep, no rest, just grind. And for a while it works. You feel like a machine, productive, focused, driven. But then it hits. You wake up one day and feel nothing, no excitement, no passion, just mental fog, heaviness, and the creeping thought that maybe you're just not built for this. That's not you losing motivation. That's burnout. And burnout doesn't just drain your energy, it robs you of joy. It makes you question your dream, your purpose, your worth. It convinces you that maybe quitting is the only way to feel like yourself again. But the problem isn't your dream, it's your rhythm. Because when you run on empty, eventually your dream feels like a burden instead of a calling. Here's the truth. Rest is not weakness. Self-care is not optional. You can't give the world your best when you're running on fumes. Most people treat exhaustion like a badge of honor until it takes them out of the game completely. So, what's the fix? You've got to treat rest as part of the strategy. Not as a reward after burnout, but as protection before it. That means sleep, real meals, time away from screens, boundaries with people, and yes, moments where you step back to breathe, reflect, and just exist outside of constant productivity. Because your dream doesn't need a superhero. It needs a healthy you. You are not your output. You are not your hustle. You are not your deadlines. You're a human being with limits, and respecting those limits isn't laziness, it's leadership. So if you feel like quitting right now, ask yourself, are you done with the dream, or just drained from the journey? Because most of the time, you don't need to give up, you just need to rest. Comparison. It's one of the most subtle, but deadly reasons people quit on their dreams. You start off feeling motivated, you're doing the work, you're even making some progress, and then, you scroll. Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok. Everywhere you look, it feels like someone else is doing better, faster, flashier, more successful. And suddenly, what felt exciting now feels small. What felt like progress now feels like failure. But here's the truth. You're comparing your chapter 2 to someone else's chapter 20. You don't see their mistakes. You don't see the years they spent grinding in silence. You don't see the late nights, the self-doubt, the rejections. You just see the highlight reel and assume you're falling behind, and that's how it starts. You begin questioning yourself. Why am I not there yet? What am I doing wrong? Maybe I'm not cut out for this after all. And over time, you stop creating. Stop building, stop trying, because nothing you do feels like enough. That's how comparison kills confidence. But hear this clearly. Their success is not your failure. You're not in competition with them. You're in competition with the version of you from yesterday. That's who you're racing. That's who you're trying to beat. And here's something even more powerful. You're not behind. You're on your timeline. Some people pop in 3 months, others in 10 years. Both journeys are valid. Both are success stories. The key is to stop looking left and right and start looking within. Celebrate your wins. Track your progress. Honor your pace. Because when you stop measuring your dream against someone else's life, you get your power back. So next time comparison creeps in, pause and remind yourself. Your path doesn't need to look like theirs. It's not supposed to. It's supposed to look like yours. And that's more than enough. Sometimes, the reason people quit isn't dramatic. It's not a big failure. It's not hate from the outside world. It's not even burnout. It's something quieter. And honestly, more dangerous. They stop believing they're making progress. You've been showing up. You've been doing the work, following the plan, trying every trick in the book. But still, the results aren't coming fast enough. And week after week, the silence gets heavier. No wins, no breakthroughs, no validation, just stillness. And that stillness, it starts to whisper, maybe you're not good enough. Maybe this dream is a fantasy. What's the point of all this? That one question, what's the point, has killed more dreams than failure ever could. But let me tell you something important. Progress is rarely obvious in real time. It's like trying to watch grass grow. You don't see it, you don't feel it, but it's happening under the surface. You're getting sharper, you're becoming more disciplined, you're stacking resilience and grit. The truth is, you don't see most of the growth until much later, when you look back and think, wow, I didn't even realize how far I'd come. But that only happens if you keep going. Most people give up right before the compounding kicks in, right before it starts to work, right before the breakthrough. They were tired, discouraged, feeling like nothing was happening, so they stopped watering the seeds. And here's what's tragic. The harvest was almost ready. So if you're in that place right now, if it feels slow, if it feels stuck, this is when it counts the most. This is where the real ones get separated from the quitters. Don't stop. Even if you don't see it yet, the shift is happening. Let's finish with one of the hardest truths to accept. Sometimes people quit their dreams because the dream was never really theirs. It sounded good, it looked impressive, it made their parents proud, it got them attention. But it didn't come from within, it came from outside, from expectations, pressure, comparison, or the fear of disappointing someone. And that kind of dream, it'll drain you. Because when your heart's not in it, when the fight doesn't feel worth it, the grind becomes unbearable. It's not about being lazy. It's not about lacking discipline. It's about misalignment. When you're not chasing something that matters to you, every setback feels like a sign to stop. Every failure feels personal. Every slow week feels like proof that you should quit. But here's the twist. That's not failure. That's clarity. You're not a quitter for walking away from the wrong dream. You're brave for admitting it. Because the moment you let go of what's not yours, you create space for what is. And when your dream is real, when it's born from your values, your purpose, your soul, you fight for it differently. You'll stay up late. You'll try again. You'll take the hits and keep swinging. Not to impress anyone, not to prove anything, but because it's your dream. So if you're feeling stuck right now, if the fire's gone out, pause and ask yourself, was I chasing a dream or an expectation? There's a big difference. And once you make that distinction, everything changes. Because when you finally choose a path that feels like home, you become unstoppable. Do not forget to like, subscribe, share, and turn on the notification bell. See you in the next video.